Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have made progress in their pursuit for Zinedine Zidane. Zidane is beginning to warm up the idea of replacing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United. Talks are ongoing between Manchester United and Zinedine Zidane, but the deal is difficult because his preference right now is to coach the French national team. Zidane's close relationships with Ronaldo and Varane could persuade him to join. Ronaldo wants Zidane at Manchester United in 2022. Ronaldo knows Zidane well because Ronaldo played under Zidane when he was at Real Madrid. He did say before though that Zinedine Zidane wasn't interested in the Manchester United job. Reports from Spain did say earlier on this season that Zidane rejected the Newcastle job as he's waiting for the Man United or France job. I reckon Zidane would be the right manager for Manchester United. I think Zidane would get us back to that level where we should be at. He'd suit the strappings of the club. He would be capable of winning trophies and he'd get the best out of these group of players. He's a far superior manager to Solskjaer. Sorry about that. Zidane is managerless. He left Real Madrid in the summer. You've got to admire what Zidane did at Real Madrid. He won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid, so reflecting on that, he's got a good pedigree behind him. Zidane has not yet managed in the Premier League, so revert back to what I've said before, it would be good for him to come and experience the Premier League. Brendan Rodgers, there's a lot of narratives coming out about him. It said not so long ago that Brendan Rodgers is more likely to become the new Man United manager than Zinedine Zidane. Recently, Brendan Rodgers was house hunting in Cheshire. And it said Brendan Rodgers is the favourite to replace Solskjaer at Manchester United. Apparently, Brendan Rodgers has already verbally agreed to become Man United's next manager. The Manchester Evening News said last week that Man United are ready to trigger Brendan Rodgers' contract clause if Solskjaer gets sacked. And it said Man United are confident that Brendan Rodgers will be their next manager. Brendan Rodgers, though, is reluctant to leave Leicester midway through the season. You've got to admire what Brendan Rodgers has done at Leicester. You know, so far at Leicester he's won the Community Shield and the FA Cup. He's been Leicester manager for almost 3 years. He's got a contract with Leicester until 2025. A few other managers have been mentioned as well. You know, Pochettino's been mentioned. Reports from France said recently that Pochettino is considering making a return to the Premier League in his next job. He's got a full season left on his PSG contract. You know, Ralph Rangnick's also been spoken about. The other week, there was rumours of him possibly coming in as the interim manager until the end of the season. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago though that Manchester United turned down Ralph Rangnick and Erik Ten Hag's been spoken about. You've got to admire what Erik Ten Hag has done at Ajax. He's won a few trophies with them and he's been Ajax manager for 4 years. But not so long ago it said Erik Ten Hag is reluctant to leave Ajax. In regards to Solskjaer, he returned to Manchester United training today. Last week Solskjaer was away in Norway. As he granted his players a week off. Reports did say the other week that Solskjaer was waiting to be sacked after leaving Manchester. Solskjaer is under pressure following back-to-back home defeats to Manchester City and Liverpool, and Man United have only won 1 of their last 6 Premier League games. At the moment, Man United are currently sitting 6th in the Premier League. As things stand at the moment, no, Solskjaer's job is safe and he's going to be in charge for the game against Watford this weekend. Reports were circulating out last weekend saying that senior stars want Solskjaer sacked. That was stemming from Duncan Castles. Fabrizio Romano said recently that Manchester United want to continue with Solskjaer for as long as possible, with a view to assess the situation in the summer. And then it came out saying that the Man United board have not yet made a decision on the future of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like I updated you today, it said 8 Man United stars feel misled by Solskjaer with the broken promises he made during the summer. Solskjaer is losing the players, he's also losing the fans' support. Manchester United should have sacked Solskjaer after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. If we'd have sacked him after that game, I can assure that Manchester United would have got Antonio Conte. And it said after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool that Solskjaer had been given 3 games to save his job and he only won 1 of them 3 games. A lot of United fans have said if Solskjaer really cared about the club he would resign, but obviously he's not going to resign because he doesn't get paid anything if he resigns, and he refused to resign after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. I hope we don't have to stick with Solskjaer until the end of this season. If Man United decide to sack Solskjaer, they'll have to pay Solskjaer $7.5 million. Don't forget, because in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new 3-year contract with an option of a further year. And we made a mistake giving Solskjaer that contract, and a lot of Manchester United fans will agree with me on that aspect. But Solskjaer has been given long enough at Manchester United. He's been Manchester United manager for almost 3 years now. The reason Solskjaer's lasted as long as he has done is because he's a club legend. Disregarding him being a legend of the club, I think he would have been sacked a while ago. And obviously we all adore Solskjaer, reflecting on what he's done for the club. You know, Solskjaer was a great player for Manchester United. He endured 11 years as a player and he won a lot of trophies as a player, so reflecting on that, he had a proven pedigree as a player, but unfortunately, he has no proven pedigree as a manager. Obviously, before Manchester United, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He endured 2 spells with them. And before, he's managed Cardiff, and he only endured a short tenure at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was terrible. He got Cardiff relegated, and that's the reason he got sacked by Cardiff. But Solskjaer is not capable of winning trophies as Manchester United manager, and he's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017. You know, the expectations are far too high for Solskjaer to exceed as Man United manager, and I do reckon that Solskjaer is in a position that he shouldn't be in. I hate to say this regarding Solskjaer, but I'm just being realistic. Of course, we all wanted Solskjaer to succeed as Man United manager, but obviously he's not going to. I did say a while ago, though, that Solskjaer was not the long-term manager for Man United. Reflecting on our poor performances, though, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. Yes, he's accountable for certain things because Solskjaer's tactics and his team selections have been questioned a lot, but there's also players that have to take responsibility for those poor performances as well. You know, it's unfair just to put all the blame on the manager. Solskjaer ran out of excuses a long time ago because, you know, Manchester United endured a very good summer transfer window this year, you know, made 4 signings, 3 of them were major signings, and we spent around £141 million. Solskjaer's endured 5 transfer windows now, hasn't he, as permanent Man United manager. The board have backed Solskjaer well. They still continue to back him now. You know, the Glazers are backing him, Ed Woodward's backing him, John Murtaugh, our director of football's backed him, and Darren Fletcher has also backed him, and Manchester United have got a very good squad. It's a title winning squad, so in reality Manchester United should be winning the Premier League this season, or at least competing for the league. Solskjaer did actually say at the start of this season that his ambition was to win the Premier League. Man United have not won the Premier League since 2013, and Manchester United have won 20 titles, 13 of them are Premier League titles. So there you go. There is positives regarding Solskjaer, you know, revert back to what I've said before. I think since he's come in, he has brought consistency back in certain aspects. You know, I think he's developed the youth well since he's come in. I think he has made good signings as Manchester United manager so far. Solskjaer has signed 14 players. You know, in the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. Then in January 2020, he recommended Bruno Fernandes in a gala win on loan. Then in the summer of 2020, he brought Edison Cavani and Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. Got 4 of those players on deadline day in the summer of 2020. And obviously in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Heaton in, Sancho, Varane and re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. Man United have spent over £400 million under the Solskjaer era. Some progress has also been made under Solskjaer as well, you know, because Solskjaer's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. You know, last season he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final, the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, and he got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager. Unfortunately though, we didn't win that final. So there you go. Last season, Solskjaer got us a second place finish, and in his first full season, he got us a third place finish. Revert back to what I said a while ago now, what Solskjaer produced in his first full season. In his second full season, he was looking to build on that this season. And a lot of players' contracts have also been extended under Solskjaer. So they are the positives. I expected Solskjaer to do far worse than he has done. So in that aspect, I am shocked. Because obviously when Solskjaer got appointed in, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood. And like I said, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood. But there's still deadwood at the club now. Solskjaer is still inheriting players from what other managers have brought in. You've obviously still got Matty from the Moyes era. You've got some players here from the Louis van Gaal era, and there's still quite a few players here from the Jose Mourinho era, and there's two here from the Ferguson era, that's Phil Jones and De Gea. And Solskjaer knew when he came in, he had a lot to do, and he also knew it was going to be a massive job, not only a massive job, a difficult job as well. Because Solskjaer is managing one of the biggest clubs in the world. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. If Solskjaer does get sacked, he will be the fourth permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson, because Man United have already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. Sacked Moyes, sacked Louis van Gaal, and sacked Jose Mourinho. Did you know Man United have only won 4 trophies in the last 8 years? Because we won the FA Cup under Van Gaal and we won 3 trophies under Mourinho. But Manchester United have obviously not been the same team since Ferguson retired, and a lot of United fans, including me, actually predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. Ferguson was the one that brought success to Manchester United. Ferguson won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but Fergie didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. So that just shows that it takes some managers time to settle in. Ferguson endured a 27-year managerial tenure at Manchester United, so reflecting on that, he was a very long-serving manager. The only mistake Ferguson made was recommending David Moyes in when he retired, but the reasons he did that is because they're both Scottish, and obviously Ferguson seemed to have a lot of time for Moyes. But like I say, at this moment in time, Manchester United are in a predicament, and the way to get out of this predicament is to get a change of manager, and structural changes are also needed at the club. There is very, very good players at Manchester United, but the reason we don't get the best out of a lot of the players is because we're a team of individuals. We don't actually play as a team. You see, if we played as a team, we'd be up there competing with the likes of City, Liverpool and Chelsea, because City, Liverpool and Chelsea and that all play as a team, and that explains why they're in a much better position than Man United at the moment. But look who we've got. We've got the best player in the world overall in Ronaldo. We've got Mason Greenwood, that's a talented player. We've got Rashford, that's a good player. We've got Fernandes, that's an exceptional player. We've got Cavani, that's a good player. We've got Van der Beek, that's a good player. We've got Pogba, that's a good player. We've got Luke Shaw, that's a good left back. but has been poor this season so far. You've got Tellez, that's a good left back, but doesn't really get in the team. You've got Eric Bailly, that's a good centre half, but he doesn't get regular game time. You've got Varane, that's a good centre half, but Varane is out with a hamstring injury at the moment. You've got Wan-Bissaka, that's a good right back. You've got De Gea, that's a very, very good goalkeeper. He's done really, really well so far this season, to his credit. So these good players at Man United. Players are going to be leaving Manchester United next year. I do think next year that Martial is leaving. I think Cavani will be leaving. I think Mata will be leaving. I think Lingard's leaving. I heard that Lingard could be leaving for just 10 million next year. Van der Beek, he's leaving in January. He's confirmed that. Matic, he could be leaving next year. Pogba, I think there's a good chance he'll be leaving next year, because not so long ago it said Man United are prepared to sell Paul Pogba in the January transfer window. Well, it makes sense to cash in for him in January rather than letting go on a free next summer. Pogba's missing the rest of 2021 because he suffered a thigh injury in France training. So reflecting on that, Pogba may never play for Manchester United again. There again, reports from France said not so long ago, like updated you, that Pogba wants to apparently renew his contract with Man United, but reportedly on one condition, that he's made the Premier League's highest paid player. So he wants to overtake Ronaldo as the highest paid player. Alex Tellez, I think there's a good chance he'll leave next year, because like I said, he doesn't really get in the team. Tellez will only play when Luke Shaw's not available. Some of the games Tellez has played in, though, he has been consistent. Phil Jones, I think, is leaving next year because he doesn't get in our team at all. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Jones has been a long-serving player at Man United. He's been at Man United for like 10 years now, and this season is his 11th season. And he was out with a knee injury for a while at one point. I think Bailly is also leaving the club next year. I think Dalot's leaving next year because Dalot doesn't get in the team, does he? Dalot will only play when Bissaka's not available. Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. And I think Dean Henderson will go out on loan next year, because Henderson has already said that he wants a loan move away from Man United. Henderson doesn't get his opportunities because obviously De Gea reclaimed that number one spot back. Henderson's only been in goal for one game so far this season. That was West Ham in the Cup. At one point, no, he was out with COVID for a while. So there you go, and tomorrow at some point your Watford Manchester United preview will be coming up. So anyway guys, that's everything to update for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.